I've been on this bench almost 25 years, and never have I ever been insulted in the fashion you just insulted this court. No. My turn.
To address this matter?
I'm sorry?
So I'm Thomas Styron, the living man, not Thomas Gilbert Styron, the entity you know me as, or as I'm on the papers. I'm here to address the matter.
All right, thank you. You wish to be represented by an attorney, sir?
No, I'm here to address the appropriate persona.
All right. I do have to advise, so you're going to represent, you need to stand in the middle of the podium where he's telling you to stand. Check back there.
I'll take the cuts off.
I don't know that we're going to be doing all that, but let me ask you something. On the Styron matter, I sent my bailiff back to get him to bring him back out. The court is of the understanding that defendant number one is being, I will say, uncooperative, has purposely done some things to make it difficult to bring him out. What I'm going to do at this point in time, we're not going to wait and not going to play his game. We will hear him next week because of his behavior today before the court. At this point, I will revoke his bond and
a veteran judge with nearly 25 years on the bench is visibly shaken, declaring he's never been insulted like this before. The defendant immediately challenges identity, rejecting legal recognition and creating tension. The court quickly shifts tone, labeling him uncooperative and revoking his bond, refusing to entertain what it sees as deliberate disruption.
I will adjourn the probable cause conference.
Watch how quickly courtroom order clashes with ideology. He's asserting his identity over the law. Do you think anyone should get away with this? The judge isn't laughing. He's setting boundaries, showing who's really in control.
He certainly poses a risk to even bring him out. So I will adjourn this out to May 2nd, 2024, 9 a.m. or as the invite indicates. I will leave it there for the reasons that I've stated on the record. Mr. Mansour, he is not represented by counsel. If you would, for the court, take the opportunity to go back and to apprise him that
the judge firmly reasserts control, refusing to play his game and postponing the matter while maintaining authority over the courtroom. Instructions are issued to inform the defendant of the consequences of his behavior. The moment highlights a clash between procedural order and deliberate resistance, with the court making it clear that defiance will not delay justice.
Of what the court has done and that I will see him next week. The court feeling that he's being uncooperative and not compliant. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court does call the case, People versus Tariq Day.
I am Tariq Samaritari Day, the executor of the Tariq Samaritari Day Living Trust and the registered owner of the Tariq Samaritari Day Ex Relatione Kingdomon Wilson Estate.
Great. So you are appearing here without an attorney. I do have to advise you that you are charged with the offense of fleeing and eluding in the third degree under the Motor Vehicle Code. That is a felony punishable by up to 5 years incarceration and or a $1,000 fine plus court cost. Additionally, the Secretary of State could suspend your driving privileges for up to a year. Do you understand that, sir?
I comprehend.
Do you understand?
I comprehend, yes.
The court has to further advise you that if you wish to be represented by counsel, the court will ensure that counsel would be appointed to represent you.
A new defendant enters, presenting himself through elaborate legal identity claims tied to trusts and estates. The judge calmly outlines serious felony charges, emphasizing potential prison time and legal consequences. Despite repeated clarification, the defendant's unusual responses begin raising concerns about comprehension and intent.
In this matter, and that you would have counsel if you could not afford to hire counsel yourself. I also wish to advise you that the court would be treating you the same as it would the people in this case. There are certain dangers to representing yourself in this matter, in that you will be required to abide by the Michigan court rules, the Michigan rules of evidence, and all of the cases and statutory requirements. You understand that?
I do not.
You do not. What is it about that you do not understand?
It's against my religion to adhere or to assimilate to any statutory.
Sir, I'm not asking anything about your religion. It is irrelevant to me. I am indicating that in this proceeding, you will be required to abide by the rules of this court. Do you understand that?
I'm having a hard time understanding why or how religion doesn't play a role. How religion does not play a role.
Religion does not play a role in what I do or what this court does. There are certain rules of this court established by the legislature and the Michigan Supreme Court regarding how these particular proceedings will be conducted. These proceedings will be conducted in accord with those rules. Do you understand that, sir?
Well, according to the American Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, as well as the international or the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, the state and the governments should...
Sir, you have no authority for what you're about to state, because what you're about to state is incorrect.
Oh, I am an indigenous person.
No,
So
sir, what you're about to state is incorrect.
The situation escalates as the defendant invokes religion and international declarations to reject court authority. The judge shuts down these arguments decisively, stating that only the court's rules apply. As confusion continues, the judge questions the defendant's understanding, warning that failure to comprehend may trigger further legal action.
Well,
If you were on indigenous lands, if that's where you're going, then maybe you might be right. As it stands right now, this proceeding is not on indigenous land.
well, that's a matter of perspective, sir.
It is, and the only perspective that's going to matter on that is mine. We are not on indigenous lands subject to indigenous or tribal rules.
Is there a
We're
law?
subject to the rules of the Michigan Supreme Court as they are promulgated, both in terms of procedure and evidence. Do you understand that that's what's happening, sir?
I do not.
What is it that you do not understand?
I don't understand.
Because I'm going to tell you something, sir. If you are unable to establish or understand what I'm saying, and go through this with you again.
The judge orders a competency evaluation, shifting the case from defiance to mental fitness assessment. Attempts by the defendant to impose conditions are immediately rejected, reinforcing judicial authority. Even when agreeing, the defendant frames cooperation under duress, prompting further scrutiny. The court locks in the process, ensuring compliance moving forward.
I have to assume that there may be some reason why you don't understand. This court will take precautions to protect your rights, and I will be sending you for a competency evaluation to make sure that you are competent to stand trial and to stand in these proceedings.
Well, I would agree to a competency if the prosecution, as well as the court and the officers, agree to take a competency.
That's not the way it works. You don't get to make the rules.
I'm not.
I'm ordering a competency.
I'm not making.
Defendant is ordered for a forensic evaluation I will set a competency hearing in this matter for July 25th